Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Premier Explosives Limited Q1 FY22 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand over the conference to Ms. Hina. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I, on behalf of Stellar Investor Relations, welcome you all to Premier Explosives Limited Q1 and FY22 earnings conference call. We shall be sharing the key operating and financial highlights for the quarter ended June 30th, 2021. We have with us today the senior management team of Premier Explosives Limited, Mr. T.V. Chaudhary, Deputy Managing Director, and Mr. Srihari Paklapati, CFO. Before we begin, I would like to state that some of the statements made in today's discussion may be forward-looking in nature and may involve risk and uncertainties. Documents relating to the company's financial performance have already been emailed to you. Now I invite Mr. Chaudhary to share his initial remark on the company's performance for the quarter. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, and good afternoon all for joining the call. I hope all and your families continue to remain healthy and safe. To begin, I would like to highlight a significant milestone achieved by the company. We flagged off the second PSOM XL rocket motor, which is strap-on motors to the PSLV of ASRO. And further production has started and it is going on. And this second motor is manufactured at our Katepalli facility, and there was a moment of pride for the company. It will pave the way for future growth potential given the government's emphasis on commercializing large and small satellite launch vehicles and other cutting-edge technology in the global space market. The financial year 2022, which began in the midst of the global pandemic's second wave, had a minor impact on execution with no notable disruptions in raw material supply. However, dispatches were slightly delayed as a result of the increase in COVID-19 instances and delays in the inspections and visits of the quality system control officials. Now, this hampered billing in Q1 financial year 21. Despite this, we have reported top line of 3,273 million in Q1 financial year 22. However, with the decline in cases, dispatches resumed normalcy. We expect healthy dispatches in the coming quarter. We continue to remain committed to maintaining our execution momentum and efficiency. With increased contribution from the defense segment, we expect further expansion in operating margins going forward. Now, on the order inflow front, fiscal 2022 has seen a healthy order inflow of rupees 792 million, resulting in a current order book of rupees 4,751 million. With higher contribution from the defense segment, during the last year, our Katepalli facility has become fully operational, and we are building up the capabilities at the facility. As a strategy, we are expanding our product portfolio through a forwards integration. We have established capabilities and obtained licenses to produce and supply all types of warheads, fuses, and bombs over the last 1 year. With this, we have entered into missile and rocket warhead segment. We have also built the capabilities for manufacturing of bombs, both guided and unguided. With our current and the enhanced product portfolio, we expect a higher order inflow in defense and space, leading to further improvement in utilization levels of new facility at Katepalli. Additionally, during July month, we entered into a deal with Torimba Global Limited, who are one of the leading companies in the manufacture of ammunition and other defense products, for transfer of technology for the manufacture of ammunition. This will provide the company additional growth potential. Now, in addition to this, I would like to provide an update on the status of the few significant orders. Our shafts and flares execution is advancing well, and the dispatches were slightly delayed due to the rise of COVID-19 cases, but conditions began to settle in the last week of June, and deliveries began in July month. The current orders are scheduled to be completed within 2 years time period. And other orders from BDL, we have orders for production of MRSAM and Astra rocket motors from BDL. And the order of MRSAM has already started and progressing well. We are supplying at the rate of 20 to 24 rockets per month. And for Astra, the FIMs have been issued in the month of July, and the production has started. As apprised you on the last earnings call, we have executed 120 numbers of Akash missile supply order. The inspection of the same has been done, and the deliveries have been made in the month of July. We are expecting that Akash will continue to be at this level for the balance year. In addition to this, BrahMos is another area where we have qualified with the technology. But due to the delay caused by COVID and other issues, the FIMs are yet to be issued by the project. Once the FIMs are issued, the BrahMos production will also commence. The production will be done at Katepalli facilities. And in addition to that, the inflow of orders for rocket motors is continuing from Israeli companies, and our order book is increasing from that angle. And we are also, with the execution of the earlier, we have won the trust of the people, and we are getting more orders and bigger rocket motors. So with all this, in addition to this, we have also started manufacturing strategic rocket motors at our Katepalli facility. The other projects from DRDO, that is Veda and AS1P and other projects, which are going to keep our Katepalli facility fully occupied. So now I request our CFO to share the financial performance.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. The result presentation for the quarter has been uploaded on the stock exchanges and on the company's website. I've been gone through the same. Now I will present the financial results for the quarter ended June 30th, 2021. The total income for the quarter 1 FY22 stands at 327 million as compared to 230 million corresponding period last year. EBITDA for the quarter stood at 60 million with an EBITDA margin of 18%, resultant of higher contribution from the defense segment. In Q4, FY21 reported a profit of 35 million. Now coming to the order book, the company's current total order book stands at 4,751 million, out of which explosive business comprised around 1248 million, and defense segment comprised 1927, and services, that is operational and maintenance, was 1576 million. With this, we now open the floor for questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 1 again. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. So our first question from Mr. Bhagesh Kagalkar from HDFC Mutual Fund. Mr. Kagalkar, I'm sorry, sir, we're not able to hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I'm
Hello?
sorry, sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
No, sir. So could you come back in the queue again? Yeah. Thank you, sir. So our next question from Kritika Mehta. individual investor. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello. First of all, congratulations on great numbers. The operating margin looks phenomenal.
Ms. Mehta?
Just wanted to understand.
Ms. Mehta, sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Could you please be a bit louder, ma'am?
Hello. Yeah. Is it better? Hello.
Sorry, ma'am, could please?
Yeah. I will first of all say congratulations on the great margins which we have achieved in the quarter one. Just wanted to understand the incremental margin which has been contributed by the different
Ms.
segments.
Mehta?
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
No, ma'am, we're not able to hear you clearly. Ma'am, if you could please come
Your
back.
audio is not clear.
Ma'am,
Hello.
if you could please come back again. The line's not clear, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay connected. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please star and one on your telephone keypad. So we have a question from Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. So the question is from Mr. Dikshit Doshi from Whitestone Financial Advisors. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I just wanted to ask in last con call, it was mentioned that we do many products, and in some of the products we don't have any competition, and there are very few players who can make those kind of products. So if you can just elaborate something about those products and what is the market size or the opportunity size in those kind of products. That is my first question. And secondly, sir, we have recently developed warheads, and you also mentioned a bit about warheads in your opening remark. So if you can elaborate about the kind of opportunity this product has for us, and whether we have started delivering the orders for it, whether we have received any orders for it, and who will be the competitors for in warheads. So this is my second question. And sir, my last question is, we have developed so many products in last 3 to 4 years, but when we say historically, we've not been able to successfully scale up, the sales in these products. So are we open to some kind of JV with larger players in defense like Bharat Forge or Larsen, where if that can help us, in garnering the orders? Because I'm sure we have a lot of capabilities and we have developed many products, but unfortunately, we've not seen the kind of sales for the efforts that we have put in.
Yeah. Okay. First question. Yeah, we have, like several times we have mentioned, we have developed in-house. We have developed propellants for rockets like MR-SAM, LR-SAM, and Astra. These are all our compositions and ours. This is there is no competition in these. And the volume of market and all.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but your voice is not clear, sir.
Sir,
actually, same from the other side also. We are also not very clearly. Yeah.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay connected. We're connecting the management team back on the call.
नया सिस्टम लगाया कोरा स्कूल वाला ही बेटर है ये ड्यूल सब है ना नया सिस्टम फेल है ये ड्यूल सब है ना गवर्नमेंट कोरा स्कूल प्राइवेट
We welcome the management team back on the call. Sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, is it clear now?
Yes, sir, it's clear now.
Now, like earlier we have mentioned, today we have the unique status of being only vendor for certain products which are called MR SAM, LR SAM, and Astra. All these missiles, the propellants are made by only Premier and supplied. In addition to this, as on date today, we are the only manufacturer of shafts and flares in India. So the volume of business and opportunity, it's available in internet and everywhere, rather than me giving the figures here on that. Okay. That is, yeah. And could you please repeat the second and third a little bit, because I could not hear you properly. Yeah.
Yeah, sir, so in your opening remark, you also mentioned about warheads, and in presentation also we have mentioned warheads. So just wanted to understand, how have we started getting the orders for warheads? Again, if you can tell us, how big this opportunity can be, and is it the warheads? Is it kind of a repeat in nature kind of a product where at every after certain years again this warhead orders can come to us, and who are the main competitors in warheads specifically?
See, yes, we bagged our first order for warhead not from domestic market, but rather from export market, which is a good beginning. So that we are now executing that order. Now about the volume of the business, I'll explain you in a simple form. Every rocket or missile fired requires a warhead. So right now we are completely making, up till now we are making all kinds of tactical missiles now made in India. So all these now we'll be doing the warheads. So the volume is almost same as number of missiles and rockets we do. So in addition to that, we are also doing now, we started doing mines. Mines also have got a high explosive pellets which are like small warheads. So we will be fully engaged with the present orders and what we have in the technologies we have with us. And third, please.
And so, yeah, please continue. So sorry.
No, third point was?
Third question was, sir, I've noticed that in last couple of years we have developed so many products, and a lot of research goes into it, a lot of efforts goes into it, and all credit to you. But only one thing is, we've not been able to garner orders as much as compared to the efforts that we have put in. So for that, are we open to any kind of JV if possible, with the larger defense players like Bharat Forge or Larsen, where if that JV can help us in garnering the orders?
Yeah, I think my second answer to your second question has answered to third also. See, these what I mentioned, the products, shafts and flares, Astra and LR SAM, MR SAM, these are all the products in-house. Right. So, yeah, and the defense products, the qualification takes a little time. In fact, 1 or 2 years is a very short period. It takes 4 years, and DRDO takes many years to develop a particular product. So they are now coming, and now today you see that if you look at the financial figures, how the shift has taken place from a commercial explosives, industrial explosives company. Now it has become a defense company. Now we almost 50% is coming from defense, and the coming years it will further increase. So all this is because of the in-house development and all the products. In addition to that, now for export market, we are developing products in-house. The Israeli requirement, we are developing and designing, developing and producing. So this is all from the effort only. So I don't know why that impression has come that we are developing a lot but not manufacturing.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks for your answer. I have many other questions. I'll get back in the queue, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Mr. Bhagesh Kagalkar from HDFC Mutual Fund. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi, sir. Am I audible now, sir? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was my question. You have mentioned that for BrahMos also we are qualified, so that is quite an excellent achievement for the company. And how will you the price differential approximately between the other motors, Akash and BrahMos?
The size is different. Akash is a smaller one compared to BrahMos.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It will be bigger only. So
how many times, sir? How many times?
Difficult question to answer.
Okay.
Because these all depend on not on just volume or multiplication of that, but the activities involved and all those.
Okay. And so what is your visibility for which programs will gain more traction on revenue front? The BrahMos JV program or on the BDL programs? Essentially.
BDL programs are more attractive to us because we are the single vendor to all the items, and up till now, in fact, if you look at it, past few years, it is the Akash from BDL which has kept us really floating and then kept the flag high. So now Akash is continuing, and then MR-SAM, Astra, and a few more missiles are also coming from BDL.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. All the best from my side.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Mr. Shivan Tarvaya from JHP Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. 3 questions from my end. One is, you spoke about this in your presentation about the New Space India Limited, the commercial arm of ISRO. So if you could throw some more light on how it would have bearings on our business going forward, and what are the opportunities out there that we are going to be tapping in. The second one is, I was just reading about our business and in general, and came across that as per my understanding, we are only into solid propellants, and I also was reading about liquid propellants. So my question is that, are we getting into liquid propellants which are used in rockets also? If yes, then is the product development going on? If not, then why are we not doing it? And is there a transition that is happening within the industry, that incremental demand from rocket motors is moving towards liquid propellants? So that's my second question. And my third is on bookkeeping. If you could just spell out the working capital days and the debt figure, the borrowing figure, I mean.
Yeah, okay. NSAL, like you said, it is the New Space Industries Limited, a commercial arm of ISRO. And through this, now ISRO has already proven and then performed and designed the PSLV rocket motor, which is now being used for launching the small satellites. And also they are developed almost, that is SSLV, that is Small Satellite Launch Vehicle. These are to be used for small satellite launches, which is going to have a very good commercial growth potential. As it is doing well, and then in future is going to be, because our costs are low, Indian laws, we are expecting, ISRO is expecting a good business for these areas. And ISRO being an organization which is more for developing the things rather than commercial production, they want to develop the commercial manufacturing facilities and companies who can meet this demand. And in that line, they have already started privatizing the production, and they have given order. We have, like I mentioned earlier, we have already produced 2 strap-on motors. It is the first time in ISRO history that propellants and energy materials are produced outside the ISRO facilities. So we are expecting a good growth in this area. And yes, we are associated in multiple companies like what you have mentioned, the companies you have mentioned, and others also for strategic partnership and then working on that. Because there are certain areas where the metal components working and all those in which we are not there. Yes, we are associating with other bigger companies. And coming to solid and liquid propellants, a technical question. Yeah, the liquid propellant is not something which can be filled into a rocket motor and stored for the usage which may come after few years. It is done just before the usage, like some stages of satellite launch vehicles is liquid propellant. Because you know when you are going to launch the satellite, one day before you start filling the liquid propellant into it and fire. Whereas solid propellant is something you can fill it and forget. So its shelf life is 10 years. In 10 years time, whenever it is needed, it can be fired and used. So that's why the solid propellant is the one which is, it is not the other way. You thought it is going towards liquid propellant. No, it is more shift is more towards solid propellant, and most of the defense are all solid. And we are in solid, and we have no plans of entering into liquid propellant line.
Okay.
I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, so there is no cannibalizing effect out here, right? As in, there is no substitution which is happening in this. Okay.
No, in fact, rather solid propellants, composite solid propellants is growing, and they are taking over the place of other propellants.
Okay. So, and one follow-up question on this news, the commercial arm of ISRO. So, sir, any idea on what could be the opportunity size here, and what would be our share in that we would be kind of targeting? Some ballpark figure for us to assess the opportunity. And by when can that happen?
Instead of me telling the opportunity figures, you are monitoring and watching the company and figures. You should be able to guess it. And about the volume of business and all those, see, I can tell one thing. Today we are the only qualified vendors for all energetics and all those things to ISRO for these PSLV and other launch vehicles. And the other companies which are participating in this, all of them are associated with us and for supply of these materials. So that can give you what is the volume. We have for meeting these future requirements, like earlier we have informed, the land near Sriharikota is meant for this opportunity only. Since the opportunity is big and the window is big, we want to be ready for that, which may take 3-4 years to come up with completely and then production. And one more thing I want to share with you is in the month of July, the revenue officials and the collector of Nellore district from Andhra Pradesh visited our existing facilities to assess the requirement of land and what we are doing, and then have the confidence in our capabilities. And he was very much convinced and pleased. And after going back to his office, he himself has called a press meet and announced that he is recommending to the government for allotment of land. So we are hoping that will be completed within this current financial year.
Okay. With regard and sir, the bookkeeping question.
Yeah, Mr. Srihari will answer that.
Hello. Yeah, with regard to the working capital cycle, it is almost coming to the average of 120 days for the defense sector and 30 days for the commercial explosives. Okay. With regard to the term debt, we have the term debt of about 407 lakhs only, and that is getting repaid in next 6 quarters. After 6 quarters, there will not be any term debt. With regard to the working capital, we have the regular limits, fund-based limits of 50 crores from various banks and 150 crores of non-fund-based limits, which are mostly comprised from the bank guarantees. So there are some loans from the promoter and our sister concern, which is about 10 crores. That's all.
Just one follow-up on the working capital days. This working capital cycle, you see it within this range only, right? It will not get elongated beyond the 120 days. Because that itself is pretty high.
But in case of defense, we are experiencing an average of 120 days at this moment. So we are trying to, get some much better way, but at this moment there is an average of 120 days.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Dinesh Kamath from Frontline Ventures. Please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I got 3 questions from my side. They're a bit separate from the accounts. I'd like to know what is the succession plan in place for the company. If you could kindly throw some light on the same. The second question that I have is that what is out that the company is promoter stake is up for sale. Is this correct? And the third question is, if yes, what is the price of valuation that the promoters or the company is looking to sell? Thank you.
Can I answer? Sir? Hello?
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, the question is finished, sir?
Yes, the questions are finished.
Okay. First one is? Yeah, succession plan. See, till date it is a professionally run company, and we have very well planned succession in the system. Like Dr. Gupta, who is chairman and managing director, he is still the chairman and managing director, and I am assisting him as managing director, and I am being trained under him. So I have no doubt. And we have our director operation, Mr. Durga Prasad is there. We have all professionals who have spent our almost lifetime with the company, and then we have every moment of the company we are part of it. So we have no doubts about anything. But if there are, Mr. Gupta has his family and his children. When at the right opportunity or right moment, they may always join.
Okay. Is Mr. Gupta looking to sell his stake?
No. At least we have no idea. I don't think it is personally, that question has to be asked him in person. Probably he will not be able to answer that. And he still holds his stake, as everybody knows, 41.45% stake he still holds in the company.
Okay. Because the word is out in the market that the promoter stake is up for sale. And if that was a yes, then what would be the price that
this is a personal question which has to be asked to Mr. Gupta. We won't be able to answer on the company's performance.
All right. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Mr. Hitesh Shawant from O3 Capital. Please go ahead, sir. Mr. Sawant from O3 Capital, please go ahead with your question, sir.
Hello, is my line audible?
Yes.
Thanks for having me on the call. In your opening remarks, you mentioned about this transfer of technology from Purimba Global. Could you elaborate that a little more?
Yes. You mean about the company or the products technology transfer?
Yeah, both, and how it is likely to affect margins, etc.
Yeah. This Purimba is a company which is which has presence in many countries in the manufacture of ammunition and other defense products, including Europe and Asia and Americas. So right now, under the Make in India scheme, we have signed an agreement with them for ammunition, particularly medium caliber ammunition, which include grenade ammunition and other ammunitions of 30 mm, 40 mm, various sizes. So which now RFPs are out from the government, that is from MOD. So we are hoping that if we win this, then that will definitely push up the turnover and margins of the company in the coming 2-3 years.
Thank you, sir. Are you looking at any capital raise?
No, right, like Katepalli, we have already built our facility for ammunition and all those, but there may be some outflow towards the technology transfer costs.
Sure, sir. Any estimate on that, sir?
Estimate, it's could be anything like 5 to 10 crores total.
Sure. Done, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Ms. Kritika Mehta, individual investor. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, sir. First of all, congratulations on the great margin we have achieved. Just wanted to check, what is the incremental margin contributed by the defense segment? And do you think these margins will be sustainable in long term?
Yeah. If you see that, products mix, the defense turnover has gone up from 7% in the last year quarter to 38% in the current quarter. So the margins in defense, as you all are aware, are good, and because of that, the bottom line has improved. So we are expecting the same trend will continue in future also, in coming quarters.
And sir, any projection on incremental margin in the service and other segment?
No, actually, the service sector, whatever we are getting, we have the SHAR contract to continue for next 7 years.
Service sector, there will not be any incremental margin. It will almost remain stable, because service is purely on the manpower and all those things, which is linked with the consumer price index, and we also get increase from them year on year, price increase linked to CPI. So both will go parallel there.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. The next question from Mr. Dikshit Doshi from Whitestone Financial Advisors. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, my question is, firstly, on the execution, so we have an order book of 180 crore in defense and around 125 crore in explosive. So over what period it will get executed?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, the explosives, that is for almost 1 year only, but the defense one is for 2 years.
Okay. So it will be not more than 100 crore of revenue from defense we can expect. Let's say if any new, obviously any new order will come, then the revenue can go up. Otherwise, it will be less than 100 crore kind of revenue run rate in defense.
Yeah, you're right, but we are expecting this is a regular ongoing process. The tenders coming, we waiting and coming. So whatever is the order book as on date in hand.
Any rough idea you can give that what kind of order inflow we can expect in defense particular in this year?
Like I have announced in my opening remarks, I mentioned about the order inflow. The first quarter, the order inflow is on defense side is.
Sir, in the defense, we have received about 42 crores order inflow during the last 4 months, from April to till date. And we are expecting this, the same trend will continue for the coming months also.
This is only an indicator, what we have mentioned. The trend will continue.
42 crore is included in this 180 crore defense order book, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, my second question is, you mentioned in a Kattapalli plant in presentation, you have mentioned that, there are many products like HMX, RDX, ammunition, mines, warheads, etc. So, broadly, if you can give a market potential of some of these products, it would be great, because I understand you usually don't give a guidance for any particular product,
but then it becomes very difficult for us to, judge whether, obviously you do multiple products, but then how much revenue we can generate, it's difficult to judge.
Okay, one of the reasons why we try to keep it low is, see, you are also the stakeholder of the company. If the opportunity window and other things and all those, if we keep on making it public, then probably we need that opportunity. We may lose that opportunity and other things. That's why we try to play low key.
So I understand that you can't share your data, but let's say like you are planning to enter warheads or RDX or mines. Then what would be the annual annual orders from government or Indian Defence, annual requirement of these products? Then whatever you get or any other company get, that's a separate thing. But what would be the annual requirement of the government?
The annual requirement of the government, whatever government announces, it is there in the internet. We have to also take out and calculate if I have to give you that annual requirement. But we work on tender to tender basis, RFP to RFP. And like I have mentioned you, the names of the products. I have also given you the numbers which we are supplying and what we are doing. That is for the present supplies. In addition to that, the new products, what we have introduced, mines. Yes, there is a good opportunity because right now, mines, many type of mines are being imported. Now they will be, once we start making, they will become indigenized. And like you are day by day, you are seeing that the number of items getting into negative list, like shafts and pliers, what we are producing. So these, once they enter into negative list, then there will be no imports. They will be only sourced from domestic manufacturer. And today we are the domestic manufacturers. I hope this will give you the indication.
Yeah. Thanks. And sir, one more question is, obviously, we are getting a good success in entering into the Israel Aerospace program. So it's been almost 1 year and we have received some small orders like 1 crore, some 10 crore order. When do you feel this testing projects will get over and we can expect some sizable orders from
now
Israel Aerospace?
Today our order book from towards exports from these Israeli orders is how much?
25 crores. Total export order and 25 crores in SPD.
Yeah. It's the 25 crores is the round figure. So it is not anymore 1 or 2 crores. We have already executed the initial small orders. Now we are into bigger orders.
Okay. And one last question from my side, sir. We have been in this range of 50 to 150 crore of defense revenue from many years now. When let's say over next 3 to 4 years, if all of these projects which we are targeting from Kattapalli plant gets a good reasonable size orders, then can we do 300, 400 crore kind of only defense revenue in, let's say, next 3-4 years?
No, it will not be only defense revenue of 300 crores. Yes, definitely we are, from our projections and targets, we are seeing some 300 crores plus in the next financial year, that is 22-23. But it will not be only from the defense. Both will go. See, we are not going to leave the commercial explosives field where we have all the expertise and everything. So that will remain and together we will maintain.
Okay, and one last question. You may in earlier calls you have mentioned that the raw material prices have went up, and due to that, the margins in the explosive segment has come down significantly, and we were not making a good profit. How is the situation now? Have we get any price hikes from our clients, or has the raw material prices come down?
No, the same situation. Even now, the same conditions are prevailing.
Okay. Okay, fine, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. So the next question from Shruti. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. So we have a question from Mr. Dixit Doshi from Whitestone Financial Advisors. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity again. Sir, any update on the BMCS project?
BMCS project, earlier RFPs were cancelled. New RFPs are still not there. So the status is same. No improvement.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. So we have the next question from Mr. Pranav Parekh, individual investor. Please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for taking my question. Just one small query on the Kattupalli plant. By when do we expect to hit peak utilization, and what sort of revenues can we look at, say, over the next 4 or 5 years, whenever?
We are already now operating at the peak levels. Propellant plant is running to the full capacity. We already have the orders on that. We are working on that. And high explosives plant, HMX RDX plant also is working to the full capacity. It is ammunition and mines. Yes, we started producing and we have released the first quantities produced, and they are under the proofing and qualification. Once they are through, probably we'll be doing it. And warheads, you are already aware of it. First order we received and we are doing it. And as we proceed with this, these orders are linked with the number of missiles and rockets produced. So once we do that and complete, and we are expecting the flow of orders against this. So it is the ammunition and warhead. These are the things which are now in the trial production. Others are all now productionized. They are going on.
So what sort of revenue can we hit on peak utilization just on the Kattupalli plant?
Just one moment.
70 crores in next year. So we are expecting about 35 to 40 crores in current year, and next year we are expecting about 75, and it go on increasing. Probably will reaching about 130, 140 crores in the next, after 2 years.
Okay, but will that be peak utilization? After that, you'll have to spend further to get more revenue out of the same plant, or you'll be able to add more?
It depends upon the ammunition and this is, it is. So how it is going to do. This is based on the present orders in hand and the indications, orders in pipeline or other things we are expecting. But yes, there is a possibility of now all Israeli projects what we are doing. Once they get converted into production orders and bulk, then the opportunity is large.
By opportunity is large, I understood. But do we have the large enough capacity to cater to that? Suppose if Israel were to say within the next 2 months give a lot.
Yeah, we have. Now we have 2 plants for propellants. We have 2 plants. Our earlier PDK plant and now Kattupalli. Together we'll be able to meet. That is, but we have to do some tooling and all those things. That is any motor we do that we have to spend on that for that time. Otherwise, the capital and facilities available and all those capacity, those are all adequate for meeting all this.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Shruti K, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. So I just wanted to understand, do you have any update on the land identification for setting up the facility near the Sri Harikota?
Yes, I informed just few minutes back that land has been identified by the state government and already earmarked for us. And before final recommendation, the collector has visited our existing facilities at Peddakandukuru and Katepalli to understand the requirement. In the first week of July, he visited us and he was very much impressed and convinced. And as soon as he went back, he has given a press note saying that he has visited and he is convinced and happy, and then he is recommending to the government for establishing the facility there, allotment of land. Hello? Hello?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand over the conference to the management for closing comments.
Thank you very much for the cooperation and the interest in the company. And we hope that we have given you best possible answers to the queries and questions. Yeah. And looking forward for a better quarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Premier Explosives Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may all disconnect your lines now. Have a good evening, everyone.